Comfort Awnings. ComfortAwnings.com.
This division race might already be over.
Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Left center. Bye-bye baseball.
The Brewers take on the Cubs in Chicago. This series is sponsored by IKEA Oak Creek. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Good morning. 10 o'clock, we have 69 degrees. A flood warning continues for the Fox River lower in Kenosha County till Friday afternoon. Today, partly cloudy, breezy, spotty sprinkles with a high of 74. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Over the course of Milwaukee's historic flooding, city officials say over 1,600 homes experienced significant damage. 150 were destroyed. Health departments assisted over 100 businesses with flooding resources and power needs. 7 of those businesses have been ordered to cease operations due to electrical issues. Restoration companies still overwhelmed. Accurate basement repair owner Christopher Mancuso tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
You notice some cracking that you didn't have before. You definitely want to get that looked out. You might have some structural intrusion from the water pressure that was outside. The sooner you have that at least looked at, and what I mean by soon, in the next few months, because trying to get somebody out in the next few days or few weeks is going to be pretty tough.
Milwaukee's extended free curbside pickup and drop-off center services to assist residents continuing to clean out flood-damaged property. Hurricane Erin, still moving through the Atlantic, is now expected to make its closest swing to the east coast of the U.S. sometime tomorrow morning. Here's ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
It will still be some 200 miles away from the coast. However, the wind field keeps expanding, and that's why by tonight you'll start to see those gusts around 30 in the Outer Banks, 50 the gusts by tomorrow morning.
The storm expected to drive potentially dangerous large waves and wind surge up and down the East Coast. President Trump confirms the next round of peace talks between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will likely happen without him. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
The president says there will be no American boots on the ground in Ukraine, but the United States could help by providing air defenses to Ukraine if there is a peace deal. And that's a big if. No firm commitments from Russia on this possible meeting between Zelensky and Putin, and there is no ceasefire in place. And so overnight, the attacks continue with both Russia and Ukraine launching drones.
Now, the Kremlin still refuses to confirm if a meeting will take place at all. A congressional resolution to extend the federal takeover of Washington, D.C. police has been introduced by a Republican lawmaker, Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, sponsoring a measure to extend the takeover indefinitely. Luna released a statement saying the president should have the authority to exert federal control over the city for as long as he thinks it's necessary. Possible measles exposures in Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin Department of Health Services says as of Tuesday, there are currently 9 confirmed measles cases in the state. DHS officials say it has identified 2 public locations where people may have been exposed on August 4th. One is the Flying J Travel Center in Roberts, Wisconsin between 7:15 to 10 a.m. and the other is the Pilot Travel Center in Beloit, Wisconsin between the hours of 11:45 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Anyone experiencing symptoms such as runny noses, red watery eyes, heavy fever, or a red rash with raised bumps should avoid public spaces and get in contact with their medical provider. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Just hours away from free burgers across southeast Wisconsin.
It's a quiet morning here outside the George Webb in Brookfield. Just a few locals are scattered inside for breakfast, but in a few hours, this calm scene will be long gone. From 2 until 6 this afternoon, the restaurant will be handing out free burgers to celebrate the Brewers' 12-game win streak. The last time this tradition rolled out, the line stretched across the sidewalk and past the Aldi next door. Workers here are bracing for the same kind of rush today, with more than 2,300 burgers already prepared at this location alone. In Brookfield, Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets are down. Dow is off 98 points. The Nasdaq off 379 points. S&P 500 down 61. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time 10:04.
Did you know, according to research, a majority of people gain their weight back after stopping those expensive weight loss shots? Don't become another statistic. The doctor-developed Milwaukee weight loss program doesn't just help you lose weight, it helps you keep it off for good. We've helped thousands of people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks and maintain the results long term. No more yo-yo dieting or weight regain. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi. I dropped 40 pounds. Yes, 40 pounds with Milwaukee weight loss. No crazy workouts, none of the meals, kits, or the shakes, and definitely no meds or injections. They helped reset my metabolism, and the weight's actually stayed off now for 6 months. It's been a game changer for me. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. I lost 40, as I said, in about 6 months. Schedule your free consultation today by calling 262-393-2334 or go online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Again, that's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Christopher Mancuso here from Accurate Basement Repair. We know this is an incredibly difficult time for our community, and our hearts go out to everyone affected by the recent record flooding. Our team here at Accurate Basement Repair truly appreciate your patience as we try to respond to the overwhelming number of requests. We want to help all of our valued listeners, so please visit our website at AccurateBasementRepair.com. That's AccurateBasementRepair.com, and fill out your inspection request. Remember, you're not alone. Accurate Basement Repair is here to help. Thank you again for your patience.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers lost both sides of a Twin City. Milwaukee lost to the Chicago Cubs 6-4 in Game 1, followed by a 4-1 setback in the nightcap. Teams will continue their series today. Packers were back on the practice field Tuesday. Quarterback Jordan Love took part in 7-on-7 drills, completing 10 of 11 passes as he recovers from a thumb procedure. Take a look at your roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I-41 south at Silver Spring Drive, right shoulder, they're blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Exit to Howard Avenue from Wisconsin 794 north was closed because of a crash. It looks like that has been cleared. We have a new one at I-43 north beyond the ramp from 7th. The left lane, they're blocked due to a crash. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Flood warning continues for the Fox River lower in Kenosha County till Friday afternoon. Partly cloudy, breezy, spotty sprinkles, high 74, clear and 65 overnight. Sunshine tomorrow, high 76. Chance of overnight showers Friday after sunshine that day. High Friday 80, sunny and 78 on Saturday. Mostly sunny, cooler on Sunday with a high of 70. 71 in Madison, 68 in Green Bay, and 69 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Good morning. You know what day it is?
Tell me.
Listen, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! It is hump day, but it's also, and we're going to talk about this later, maybe this hour, Free Hamburger Day. All that time we've put in, we didn't do anything.
Yeah, we just watched and cheered.
The Brewers
put up good vibes.
Yeah, the team did all the work, and then George Webb is paying it off with their now third giveaway of hundreds of
2 to
thousands.
6?
2 to 6 at your local George Webb's restaurant. I think there's 23 of them or something like that.
So remind me how it works. So you went and got a voucher already, and I know you're going to save your voucher because you are a collector.
Collector, yeah.
But if you got a voucher, do you have to use it today?
No, that's
so right
different.
now is if you did not
Just
get
show
a
up.
voucher,
Hey, just
you
show
can
up.
just show up. And then if you got the voucher, you can use it whenever.
Yes. And I'm going to actually, hopefully, I got a doctor's appointment at 2:30, and it's in the area where my friend Rick Esselberg's, we had on the show last week from Lake Lawn Resort. His restaurant is obviously participating, and I'm going to go out there and shoot some video. I just want to see people's...
Can you do some selfies?
I don't know. Should I do a selfie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you would do a selfie. I know
I
that.
absolutely would do a selfie.
Yeah,
if I wasn't busy, I'd go out and film you. I'd film us.
Would you do a video, like a 30 seconds to a minute video complaining about anything and then really close to your face like a lot of people do on TikTok? Would you do one of those?
I'm going to make one today.
Just for me?
No, I'm going to make one for my anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary, by the way, to you and Mike. How many years?
Only 3.
3. What do you mean only?
Well, it's one of those. I said that to a friend the other day. Like, you've only been married for 3 years? I was like, I feel like you two have been together forever. Because I think we act like we've, and in the best way possible.
Well, you're a good
we're
match.
very, very well matched.
Yeah.
And so
happy
yeah,
anniversary.
we've been together for about 5 years and got married August 20th, 2022.
Yeah, which is amazing. So have fun tonight in any way that you want to celebrate, and then you go out to dinner.
Maybe I'll be hungover tomorrow. You never know.
So you're going to show up hungover?
I'm joking.
All right. Yes, you should be joking. All right. So we're going to make a hard line here.
I know.
We're sort of having fun and talking about your anniversary, but there's a conversation that you and I have been talking about that the President of the United States is having, other people as well, including Jillian Michaels, of all people. Like, how did she
become a political commentator?
As far as I know, she's just an abusive trainer, right? Because that's what the new Netflix show is showing. She's like abusive to the people that she had in The Biggest Loser.
She was a coach on Biggest Loser. She's been a fitness guru most of her career. And I don't understand why she's now being considered someone to be brought on to like CNN's nightly news panel with Abby Phillips. Like,
was Scott Jennings not available?
No, I think he was also on the panel that night, the night that she was on last
so
week.
2 of them.
So and she is a big Trump supporter.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's why she gets invited on, simply because she is a public figure who is a Trump supporter. But as far as being a political commentator, maybe she's trying to pivot. I don't know.
Clearly, she's trying to pivot.
Or maybe she's trying to get more press because this Netflix thing. I don't know. But it's an interesting choice for her to be on that show. But go ahead.
Well, I'll let you sort of frame it, because what we're talking about here is a comment that the President of the United States made and others related to slavery. And I understand there's a big topic, and you and I were talking before. There's a lot to this historically. Certainly, the origin story of this country in many ways, right? The
original sin, as some people refer to it.
Yeah, 1619 Project, right, and others. So when you talk about this issue, we're going to try to do this in a very intelligent, informed way. But here's my starting point. Here's my baseline. It's not a debate. Slavery is bad in all forms. It's not good. There's no pivot to maybe it wasn't so bad. There's none of that here. And
between you and I.
Yeah, pretty sure that you and I are not taking that stance. Yes. So if you're expecting that, go find another radio station, because that's not what we're doing. I will say this, just as sort of a high level. Any attempt to scrub history or erase the insanely horrific story of slavery in this country should be, rightly so, pushed back against. Should not be allowed. We should not go down that path, because as we're often told, it's a famous cliche of history. If you forget history, you're condemned to repeat it, sort of paraphrasing. I don't want to do that. Anybody who's watched anything, any historical movie, even movies that are based on our history of slavery, understand how horrific this was. And I'm just going to say this, and I would never, ever put myself in the shoes of an African American or someone with that descent. It probably was 100 times worse than we've seen, just from the extreme destruction of a group of people based on how they looked. They were treated as subhuman. And you want to see some of this stuff, you can certainly go to the African American Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. I've been there a couple times to see how they were treated. And it's not just then. We're talking recent, relatively recent.
Well, you talk about Jim Crow, Reconstruction, and how recent the civil rights movement actually. You were alive.
Yes. Yeah.
My dad took
us to downtown Milwaukee to see
probably
that.
A lot of our listeners were children or teenagers when the civil rights movement was happening with MLK and Malcolm X and everything that was happening not that long ago. And the idea that we're not even a full century away from how there was really no consequences to lynching people and to segregation and so much of the stuff that still informs how a lot of groups move within our country today. Because when we talk about race, there's the racism of an interpersonal level of your actions as an individual, but then how much of this was baked into our laws of redlining and loans and job discrimination and stuff like that. And so it's without understanding that, becomes a lot easier to whitewash things and just be like, we're all the same. We're all the same. And I know that it's uncomfortable. And I think that is something with, as far as the President Trump's, he's like, I want us to be celebrated inside of these museums. I want, that is what his social media is really, when he's talking about this on social media, is like, there's no talk about the future of our brightness, of all the good things that we've done. And maybe there's an argument. I haven't gone to the Smithsonian museums in a long time, so maybe there's an argument that there needs to be more of that, but I don't think you balance that by taking away the actual things that happened.
As somebody who spent a lot of time in Washington, D.C., and I've been, if I haven't been to all of them, I've been to most of them, and many over and over again, because I often had time after school to go hang out. And the great thing about Smithsonian buildings, most of them, if not all, are free. So you could do a lot of that. So Portrait Gallery, Holocaust Museum, the science ones, everything was just right there for me. And it's not the job of a museum to foretell the future. You can hint at it, certainly, but every one of these museums shows what has happened, whether that's through a portrait, whether that's through an invention, whether that's through the cruelty displayed on one group of people because of what they look like. That's the story of our country. Now, there's also examples on display in the Smithsonian of how African Americans specifically have overcome that, and many of those are on display at the African American Smithsonian exhibits and the museum. So that's also there. But this idea, and I'm direct quoting the president, this overfocus, his words, on how bad slavery was. There's no overfocus. It was bad. It was horrific. And any idea that museums should be sort of this, you use the term whitewash, sort of this whitewash of history, and then like
flowery?
Yeah, just who wants to see
dressed
that?
Up? Fairy tale?
I don't want to see
the Disney versions. How about that? How about the Disney version? Because original fairy tales were actually pretty grim.
The last thing I want, and you can disagree on the text line if you want, 855-616-1620, is our museums become homage to the current president. Because there's a group of Trump supporters who really like to get involved with that stuff, where they like the bling and the hats and the flags and the boat parades. I don't want our museums to become that. The museums are wonderful, very specific examples of what this country has done, both good on the science side and bad on the slavery side. That's what museums should represent. So love to hear what you have to say, 855-616-1620. And because we are...
You cutting us off, Jazz?
Because we are two white Americans talking about this issue, we're going to play a clip from Abby Phillips, who hosts a show on CNN, which Jillian Michaels was on, sort of laying it out for people from an African-American perspective. I think that's worth hearing. Now we'll go to break. Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi, and Loyal Family Renovations, they saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Soak up summer days at the ballpark while they're still here. Be here when the Brewers host the Giants, August 22nd through the 24th. Lead off the weekend with Stranger Things theme night arriving Friday the 22nd. From there, collect a legendary Bob Uecker golf umbrella giveaway for the first 25,000 fans on Saturday the 23rd. And if this series couldn't get any better, it's the return of Willie Adames to American Family Field. Get your seats today at brewers.com/tickets.
It's one of the hottest topics when it comes to finance and your money, the One Big Beautiful Bill. If you haven't read it, we don't blame you. It's 900 pages with 400 just for tax provisions. Not exactly light reading. You know who has read it? Annex Wealth Management. That's where Instant Insight webinars come in. They're designed to provide clarity for today's hot topics. Get up to speed fast. Check out the full Instant Insight schedule at annexwealth.com/events. Unbiased advice from a fee-only fiduciary. Find out more at annexwealth.com.
Get a clear picture of their eye health at Shopko Optical with back-to-school comprehensive eye exams. Vince Vetrano here for the experienced team at Shopko Optical, which can put your child at ease by encouraging them through the process and explaining their findings in a comfortable and relaxed environment. Feel confident that you're sending them back to class looking and feeling their best with personalized care and premium eyewear from Shopko Optical. Visit shopko.com to schedule an appointment today.
Welcome back to Point Taken on this Hump Day edition. Kristin, Brey, Scaffidi on her anniversary day, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. This is a serious topic, and I didn't want us to do this without having an African American perspective. And I'm a big fan of Abby Phillips.
She's great. Do you watch the?
I sample it.
The ability for her to stay calm.
Yeah,
and
she's
she
good
asks
at that.
her rebuttal questions to people that is not accusatory but challenging. Like, she's very good.
This clip is about a minute 30-ish, and it sort of lays out the history.
Should we give the context? Because I think I talked about Jillian Michaels, but I didn't say what happened. So Jillian Michaels was on the show last week, and as often does on this show, because they get diverse voices, and it is a debate show. Scott Jennings is usually on there, and he was also on there that night. And the conversation about the Smithsonian had been brought up as far as changing exhibits, et cetera. And Jillian Michaels made the leap to talk about slavery and how all of these exhibits just point to white people being bad, and then tried to basically downplay how bad slavery was by making a point around about how only 2% of white people owned slavery. But there was a brilliant rebuttal from Nicole Hannah-Jones, who wrote 1619 Project, talking about while there may have been a smaller population who owned slaves, the influence of slavery in our economy touched everything.
Yeah,
right?
that's not in dispute. That's
and
not
so
an argument.
and so then as a follow-up, I think this was last night, Abby Phillips did like a 12-minute segment monologue on slavery.
Yeah,
and
we
so,
should say that the show is News Night with Abby Phillips for people who want to check it out.
So this is Abby Phillips, her opening monologue.
Slavery was indeed bad. It was evil, the nation's original sin. And it is impossible to understand the true history of this country without fully grappling with slavery's impact. Simply because of their birthplace and the color of their skin, the bodies and spirits of black men, women, and children were exploited for profit and power. They were forced onto ships, bound by shackles and collars that ripped off their skin. One older man described it as iron entering our souls. Some chose to jump into the waters infested with sharks rather than feel that iron. Now, once they arrived on this very soil, they were forced to work by way of the whip, despite being starved, sleep-deprived, threatened, tortured, physically and psychologically. They were auctioned off, humiliated, fearful, and separated from their families and their children. Black women and girls were raped and sexually assaulted. Many were brutally murdered and mutilated. Now, this endured for decades, centuries. And even in the places where slavery was not legal, institutions from our banks to universities were built on enslaved labor in both the North and in the South. And for many of the white Americans who did not personally own slaves, they benefited from a caste system that concentrated wealth and political power in their hands.
It's part of a longer essay by Abby. It's 12 minutes long, but it's fantastic, and she's really good at her job. But I'm going to use an analogy to this, so the folks who think we shouldn't dwell on these things. I'm going to use the faith analogy. When you go to your place of worship, often your conversation from your faith leader is related to sinning and things that are not being done according to the tenets of your faith. That's almost the hyper-focus. That's like they're telling you, you need to be better. The messaging of slavery in this country, at least the modern message is, yes, it is horrific. It shouldn't be scrubbed. It shouldn't be whitewashed. It shouldn't be forgotten, overlooked, not taught, because that's sort of happening in these weird, creepy ways as well.
Talk about Oklahoma later this week.
Yeah, that should not happen. We should identify it. We should understand what happened. And as we always say when we're talking about history, learn from it. It's not that hard. We have to face it, though, in any effort by this administration or any administration to sort of forget about it or just not think about it or look at it in a positive way. If there's some positive way to look at slavery, is there? Tell me what that is if you have some.
I mean, the wealth that the country was able to build off of it.
Sure, but that's not unique to the United States. Every civilization
I know, but I'm just saying,
as
far as if you spin it. This country is built on either slave or immigrant labor.
Yes.
Full stop, right? As far as what it was, when it ended up not being slave labor anymore, it was the next new group of people that were here that were desperate to make a living, that were exploited by people with power and resources.
I'm glad you just mentioned that because that's brilliant, right? So war on slavery,
or at least the idea that we're going to whitewash slavery, and now war on immigrants. The two major pieces of the American workforce that made this American dream possible. We're going to take that down in the scope of 4 years. Is that the plan? Because that makes no sense. That's the history of this country. Without those two things, both negative on the slavery side, positive on the sort of the American dream, the immigrant story, and we can have a long debates on how that's been processed and how that's happened in the last 30 years. But that's our history. That's why, in my opinion, this country can be great and should be great, because unlike most places in the world, you can come here from anywhere and be part of this story.
Well, could.
Yeah, up until things changed. So that's the piece that I care about. I've got to take a quick break here. She's Kristin, I'm Steve. It's Point Taken. Smart debate on a very important topic. Not always fun ways to start the show, but one that's important to talk about. Quick break.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
It is Burger Day at George Webb.
Oh, we actually have to make a correction.
Yes.
Because at the beginning of the show, I asked you, I was like, oh, can you just use the vouchers whenever? No.
No, there's a specific time.
There is a specific time. It is August 25th through August 29th. So do not listen to me when I ask. Well, I didn't. I guess I asked a question. You're the one who confirmed it.
Yeah. So
we were both wrong.
Yeah. So I want to say that I'll say this because we have a little bit of time, and we're gonna have an interesting guest coming up.
I know.
The newest person in the race for governor, which I did not expect, and well, he's in person in studio, so I'm looking forward to that conversation. This is me saying this, not George Webb saying this. Don't show up and just get the free burger and just meander out of there. Spend some money there. Get some chili to go. Get something else to go. Get some fries. Get a soda. And here's the other piece, because I talk a lot about Wisconsin cheap. We love free stuff. Let's be honest. I know a lot of people like this. You know, those people that...
It's like when you get a compliment, you're like, oh, thanks, I got it on sale.
Yeah, exactly.
It's your immediate follow-up.
Tip your servers very generously. This is a long day for them, busy day. They've had a lot of busy days because the voucher thing is occupying their time as well. Do something nice for somebody, pay it forward. And thanks to George Webb. Because to be honest, they could have got rid of this a long time ago. This is the third time in their history they've done it. And they continue to do it. And maybe next year we'll do it again. Or maybe even this year. Who knows? Because this team has a tendency to win a lot of games in a row. They've done it 11 and 14. So who knows? But be nice to George Webb. Be respectful of your neighbors when you're waiting in line. Don't get into fights, fist fights, or anything that makes the local news. Please don't do that. All right, we have local news with the great Connie Weber. Great guests coming up in the second half hour, the first hour, point taken. Here's now the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry. Preston getting ready in North Carolina. Governor Josh Stein on the preparations being taken as Hurricane Aaron moves up the East Coast, bringing high waves, storm surge, and dangerous rip currents.
We've activated a cross-agency storm response that includes the Department of Public Safety, the Department of Transportation, the North Carolina National Guard, the State Highway Patrol, and many local partners.
Swimming not allowed on many of the beaches up and down the East Coast. Israel is calling up more reservists and telling those on active duty they'll have to continue their service for a while longer as the military moves further into Gaza, including Gaza City. NATO defense chiefs holding a virtual meeting on security guarantees today as Western countries push for an end to Russia's war in Ukraine. The Republican-controlled Texas legislature is expected to pass a new congressional map today that will create 5 new winnable seats for the GOP. California says it'll move to do the same for the Democrats. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. In the case of Maxwell Anderson, a judge has dismissed his father, Stephen Anderson, without prejudice in the wrongful death suit against Maxwell, convicted in the death and dismemberment of Sade Robinson, whose family is suing. Court found there was excusable neglect in failing to properly serve Stephen Anderson in this case. Current dismissal leaves open the possibility of refiling the case against father Stephen Anderson in the future. Maxwell Anderson serving life in prison without parole. Deadly shootings overnight in Milwaukee. The first at 2nd and Wright on the city's north side claimed the life of a 37-year-old. Then around midnight, a 19-year-old went to the hospital, did not survive. More than $16 million in state aid heading to Wisconsin's largest school district. The Department of Public Instruction says Milwaukee Public Schools has finally completed financial reports in the 2022-23 fiscal year that caused the state aid to be withheld originally. The funds will be directed to special education and students who are raising children on their own. DPI expected to release the remaining $25 million in state aid in the coming weeks when final reports from the 2023-24 fiscal year and a review of the district's plans for improvement are sent. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is up now 27 points at 44,949. The Nasdaq is down 213 at 21,101. S&P 500 down 29 points at 6,381. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Still working on a crash. I-43 North, about a third of a mile beyond the ramp from 7th. The left lane there blocked due to that accident. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Flood warning for the Fox River lower in Kenosha County till Friday afternoon. Partly cloudy, breezy, maybe some spotty sprinkles today, a high 74. Mostly clear and 65 overnight. Sunshine tomorrow, 76. Sunny on Friday, but then a chance of overnight showers after a high of 80. Sunny and 78 on Saturday. Mostly sunny, quite a bit cooler on Sunday with a high only 70. 71 in Madison, 68 in Green Bay, and 69 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
Unlock big savings on your next project when you shop at Menards. Check out Lockley electronic door locks. You'll never have to worry if you forgot to lock your door again. Control your lock from anywhere with the use of your smartphone. Keep your home safe and secure. Pick up your Lockley electronic door lock today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Bill Berrien is a former Navy SEAL, a businessman, and he's running for governor.
I'm Bill Berrien. While the globalists and corrupt politicians shipped our jobs to China, I went all in on Wisconsin. At my manufacturing business, we hire American, build American, and take the fight to China. I'm an outsider and a businessman who puts America first, just like President Trump. Together, we will make Wisconsin manufacturing great again.
Bill Berrien for governor. Paid for by Bill for Wisconsin.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 16 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
All right, looking forward to this interview. We often talk about politics on this show. You know that. Kristin, Brey, Steve's committee point taken on 620 WTMJ. And I can tell you right now, we're going to have anybody who declares for the office of governor, we're probably going to have on the show. Both sides. I don't care. I want to hear what everybody has to say. I want to know their history. I want to know their policy. I want to know their story. In studio, he's the second person, I think, on the Democratic side, along with Sarah Rodriguez. Officially.
Yes, Sarah, yes.
Yeah. Ryan Sturdad of McGuanago joining us in studio. First of all, thanks for being here.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
All right, I'm going to ask you a very obvious question. Maybe it'll even offend some people. Why the hell are you running for governor?
I first ran for office. I ran just one time back in 2000, and that was back as I was a Republican, just before I decided to switch over. And
okay, wait, hold on.
Okay.
Why'd you switch over?
I switched over because I was more of pro-employee thought, and then the caucus leader was then Speaker Scott Jensen. And I got to know a few other people since that election. I ran against the late Jeff Paley. And even when I ran against him, I had some more pro-Democratic beliefs. And people may remember that Jeff Paley actually had some pro-righty beliefs, yet running as a Democrat.
It was a completely different era in politics.
Oh, yes, definitely. Mm-hmm. Definitely. And so I got to know some Dems back then in 2001, like Brian Burke and Peter Bach, and I decided to make the switch in winter of 2001. And I had it in my blood the whole time that I wanted to run for office again. And since then, I soon became a father of a baby. Now she's 23 years old, my beautiful daughter, Michaela.
Life goes fast.
Yes. I did go through a divorce since then. And for the record, I've been divorced even once since then. That will come out. But nevertheless, I'm single right now. And but I was really viewing the fact that it kind of hit me in the head when Tony Evers beat Scott Walker in the 2018 election, that with what I was doing on leading the vendors at AmFam Field with my political action committee, Drinks in the Seats, that perhaps that maybe whenever Tony Evers would decide to leave 8 years after, which is now maybe 12 years after, or I know the Republicans were hoping to knock him out in 2022. That did not happen. That, well, maybe if everything falls right, I would have an actual shot at running for governor.
So there's a lot to unpack there. So first, let's talk about you being a beer vendor and also your political action committee. So how long have you been a beer vendor at, well, what was County Stadium and then Miller Park and now AmFam Field?
Yes. I started at County Stadium as a food vendor when I was 16 in 1988. And my first day of being a beer vendor, would be opening day of 1998.
Oh, so you've been there for a long time.
37 years if you do the math since 88.
So then what was Drinks and Seats is the political action committee,
Correct.
which is also potentially a good campaign slogan, but we'll get back to that later. So what was the objective there? What were you lobbying lawmakers to consider?
Yes, very good question. I was a union steward at the time. From 2013, after Hans Alexander, our then union steward decided to leave the stadium. He had some health issues, and he had since passed away. I want to say a rest in peace to Hans. But nevertheless, that in 2016, I'm the union steward, and we have had times throughout the years at the Brewer Stadium, I'll just say Brewer Stadium, because we went through so many name changes and building changes, that I had noticed that back in 1988 as a food vendor, the only way to get beer at the stadium was just in addition to the vendors, we had some beer vendors. They go way back to the Braves years of beer vending, that is. But the only alternative to get beer instead of the vendors at Old County Stadium was just going to the concourses, and you can get some fast fills that were poured into a cup.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly but surely, the market of alcohol at stadiums started to evolve. And we would see, in addition to just maybe 2 or 3 varieties of beer being served at the stadium, you fast forward today and you see dozens and dozens of all sorts of beers and different types of beer products and ways to get drinks at the stadium. And what made me finally decide to start Drinks in the Seats was because we were seeing our window of opportunity as in-seat beer vendors start to narrow by then. And I thought, listen, enough is enough, because you may recall, they made a decision to expand the concession stands and renovate the concession stands. And it would start in 2017, but the groundbreaking with that started in late 2016. So I had to do all the legwork in getting the political action committee all set up, called Drinks in the Seats, and get a few lobbying licenses, one for the city of Milwaukee, in an attempt to alter the floor plan over at Brewer Stadium.
So is the idea that you don't like the fact that they have less vendors and more concourse options? Is that the deal?
The original object of Drinks in the Seats was to put limits on the amount of competing points of sales in the concourses.
Got it.
Were you effective?
Unfortunately not. I want to actually go as far as having a really groundbreaking idea of outlawing alcohol being served in levels 1, 2, and 4 of the stadium. And it'll only be available from non-vendors on the 3rd level and in the restaurant then known as TGI Fridays. So that was my first idea, and maybe transfer some of those former beer-selling concession stand workers into the seats. I brought that up. Chris Vidmar, the union rep, did not really appreciate that. So obviously, because they
We're
represent
causing tension already.
Yeah. Well, hey, that happens. But so it starts some infighting because the same union that represents us in the seats represents the concession stand workers. But nevertheless, I tried to. I whittled down my idea then of just having some limitations on the concession stands, and I brought that into City Hall. I tried to get then Alderman Michael Murphy, whose stadium is included in his then district, to get on board with it. He unfortunately did not want to, but I tried to send it in myself in 2018, but unfortunately that got intercepted by a city attorney's office saying that was a labor dispute.
All right, we got to go to break, but yes or no question. Would you call yourself a workers' rights candidate?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get to. All right, so there's a lot of policy questions that are related to running for a higher office, especially governor in the state of Wisconsin. I've been looking at your website. There's some pretty clear declarations on how you feel about these things. We'll sort of go through some of this stuff with Ryan Sternad. He's a candidate on the Democratic side for governor of the state of Wisconsin, also a longtime beer vendor at the multiple brewer stadiums we've had in your existence and mine. We'll get to all of that and more on 620 WTMJ. Point taken.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to former NBA veteran Gary Trent Sr. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi for QC Kinetics. What timing? Because I'm going to QC Kinetics this afternoon for my 3rd of 5 treatments on my sore elbow. It's a lot different than traditional treatments. No surgery, none of the meds. This is restorative, repairs your damaged tissue using your own bodily fluids, basically, natural cellular therapies, none of the scalpels or pills, long-term relief with no dreaded and long-term recovery. You can even bring your x-rays and MRIs if you're a new patient there or new consultation. They'll look at them. You'll find out what's ailing you, certainly, and where you can go from there. Worst case, you learn something new about yourself. Best case, you get your life back, which is what happened with me because I already have better flexibility and it feels a lot less painful than it did 2 treatments ago. On today's third session, I'll tell you about that next week. Grab the phone right now. Here's what you got to do. Call them. Schedule a free consultation. Easy as that. So many people, when I'm there, are walking for the first time. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Change your pain reality at QC Kinetics.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Take your family to the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford or Oshkosh today for the Wednesday all-you-can-eat fish fry and just $7.99. Kids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. Just walk in for your $7.99 fish fry. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft restaurant.
All right, let's jump right back in. Joining us in studio, candidates for the Democratic nomination for governor. Ryan Sternad, he's a vendor at what is now American Family Field, Miller Park, County Stadium, goes way back. So I'm looking at your website. A couple quick questions, and it's got some of your thoughts, but they're sort of written in a sort of interesting way. So the first one that caught my attention, second bullet point. Healthcare administration will be on a tight leash. What does that mean in your world?
It means with me being governor, anything that's under my power, I will make sure that the consumers who have to pay medical bills rather, are not getting robbed or gypped, I should say. I don't want to use the word robbed.
You can say screwed. Yeah, that also works.
Okay, but nevertheless, no, I mean, anything under my watch, I do not want my citizens to get gypped about having to pay more than they have to in the medical field.
All right, one more quick, and then I know Chris has got probably a ton of questions. Work on the environment with common sense. What does that mean exactly?
Oh, it means this. It means I've seen so many elected officials really think hard about improving the environment, and what they do, they're a little bit short-sighted because sometimes it ends up costing people jobs or else costing consumers more money in the process. I'll give a little sneak preview to you guys. On my first day in office, I'll sign an executive order outlawing any emissions test in all 72 counties in the state of Wisconsin. I think
that's pretty popular, actually. I don't know if you can get it done, and I don't know if we have executive orders like the president does, but if we do, well, good on you.
Yes, I mean, and if we were to get blackmailed by the feds, I'll get with U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin. I mean, because just look at what Senator Baldwin's doing now, trying to get us some federal assistance with the recent flooding.
So I guess as far as we live in a two-party system, the parties have a fair amount of power. What relationship do you have with the Democratic Party right now, either at a state level or at the county level?
I really don't. I did about 20 years ago.
Okay.
We don't have many people left from those days. I know Tim Carpenter and Kristin Zanicki, they worked hard, and I like them, and, they've been nice to me. I'm not saying one way or the other on who they want to endorse. But back in the day, 20 years ago, I knew Democrats like Brian Burke and Peter Bach. And last year, former Milwaukee Mayor John Norquist was at the stadium attending that memorial of Big Blue collapsing, and I spent some time with him in the back of the seats for a while. So, but like I said, I will say this moving forward there. If I'm governor, expect a lot more bipartisanship than you've seen for the last two administrations, that being Tony's administration and Scott Walker's administration.
Is that because your ideas are bipartisan, or because you were once a Republican, now you're a Democrat? How do you flesh
I think
that
it's
out?
a little of both. I mean, I'm a citizen, and I've been rather annoyed on this us against them mentality. And, I'll be more of a melting pot, so to speak, or I'll try to be. I mean, I know everyone's I'm not going to be able to please everyone. I'll say that. But, I'll go in there, I'll get my hands dirty, but I want to see more things get done in the state of Wisconsin.
So I guess part of the question also is, why start with governor as far as political impact and not state representatives, state senate, aldermen? Like, why shoot for the top of the table right away?
That's a good question. I kind of came to terms with myself a few years ago after Drinks in a Seat started to get known. And I really did not want to be in the state assembly, maybe, state senate. I want more of an executive position. I wish Wisconsin had more congressional districts, because I might want to think about running for those. And with me being a Democrat, I can't not go off like a Chuck Wickers. In fact, I've known Chuck for 40 years. I grew up with his family. But the state senator of Franklin there, too. I met Bradley. Julian Bradley, that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah,
Yep.
he's a nice gentleman, too. I met him at a game earlier this year. But I start to think, too, that if I'm in the state assembly or if I'm in the state senate, I would just have one vote, and I would try to steer everyone else try to go with my way or all that. But I would prefer just to have an executive position where I would have more of an exclusive say. I mean, I won't be a king. Obviously, I won't be. I'll sit there and wait for bills to come on my desk to veto or sign, and I can push a budget too. But I would prefer that route as being an elected official than being just a representative.
All right, got to let you go. Butts, beer vendor to governor. That's a hell of a transition, and I don't have a ton of time. Remember the Jesse Ventura story, wrestler to governor?
I remember that.
Do you see yourself in that same sort of mode? Not a wrestler, but just somebody unknown.
Everyday man to
Cinderella
governor.
Story.
Where I believe,
Make it brief.
I've been talking to my brothers here about this, but they just look at it as like that, a beer vendor at the stadium. I had a reporter ask me a few days ago, did you time your announcement while the Brewers are red hot?
Did you?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I'm making my announcement later today at Mitchell Boulevard Park at 2, and I had to have that park booked 30 days ago.
All right. Thanks to Ryan Sternad. If you want to find out more about him, his website, Ryan Sternad, and that's STRNAD is his last name, forgovernor.com. Thanks for coming in.
Anytime.
I hope we can talk down the line. We got a quick break here on 620 WTMJ.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Get your aches and pains under control and bring back your energy. Whether it's headaches, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, time and repetition is key to staying on the right track. I've been seeing Dr. Alex and his team for 2 years now. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Connect Chiropractic uses a special tool that is targeted and effective, yet pain-free and gentle. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, and the new location on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek. Get started at GoConnectChiro.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
This Saturday only from the historic Fox & Hound Supper Club. Enjoy 2 chicken Alfredo pasta dinners for under $47. Yes, 2 dinners. Call and reserve your free dinner today. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
With over 57 years of experience, family-owned Yutka Fence installs high-quality fencing with residential options, including vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer service, Yutka Fence doesn't just build fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate today at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Thanks for tuning into this first hour. I got a whole another hour to go.
Whole other hours, Ask Us Anything Day.
Yeah, which I always look forward to because it's sort of to hear what the audience is thinking about the topics that we talk about every day. Now, you kind of know this story from a personal perspective, so share that.
Well, so yes, we were just talking to Ryan Sternad, who I would say is a long shot.
He's got a less than 1% chance of ever being governor.
For the primary.
Maybe less than 0.01.
Kind of an everyday man, beer vendor, who has decided that he wants to run. And it just reminded me because back in 2022, when Mayor Tom Barrett got appointed to be the ambassador to Luxembourg, and there was a special election for his replacement. My husband decided to throw his name in the hat, in the rink.
Did I have him on the show when he ran? On my show?
Ooh, did you?
I think so. I don't even remember.
I don't remember either.
But he'll find out. And
he won. It was a sprint of a campaign, but he had no actual political history. Despite talking about politics a lot, I had never worked on a campaign before. It was basically just the two of us for about a sprint of 6 weeks, getting signatures, raising some money. But he did go on the forums. He did get his ideas heard. And I'm super proud of him for doing it. I would say probably there was a lot of people who said the same thing that maybe we would say about Brian, is he did not have a big chance, a very small chance. But the fact is, this is democracy, right? You step up, and if you're willing to put in the work, it is a good thing to be able to do that and not just have the candidates picked by the party in a smoky back room.
Whether you like this characterization or not, he's the classic Milwaukee guy. I know he lives in Mugwanago, but he's been around this city, worked in this city. He's the classic Milwaukee guy. I know 100 guys just like him. And I give him credit for doing this because it can't just be millionaires and billionaires. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he's not one of those.
No, but I think it says something as far as, I think I came on your show the day after the primary.
Yeah.
Ed was talking about, because I was really proud of Mike for running. But the classic or the famous we gotta go break. But the Teddy Roosevelt quote about being the man in the arena, right? So if there's something to be said about putting yourself out there for ridicule. It's very easy to point and make fun of people for trying. It's a lot harder to actually be the person who is trying. So hats off, Ryan.
Versus just talking about it on the internet like a weird troll. My take. All right, second hour. Point taken after the news.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
It's a good idea to have a plumber in your contact list, and best probably to have it before an emergency. Vince Vitrano here. I've got your plumber. It's Horner Plumbing. For starters, this company is the trusted name in residential, commercial, and new construction for more than 50 years in southeast Wisconsin. My wife and I have them in our home working on a small project. Well, it's small for them, but any project is a big deal when it's in your house. You want it done right at a fair price. That's why we chose Horner Plumbing. Upfront pricing, so no surprises. Clear, honest estimates from professional plumbers who stand by their work. What do you need done? Water heater repair or install, drain cleaning, garbage disposals, bathroom and kitchen renovations. And how about saving some money? Tell them Vinny sent you and that you want $50 off that first service. Call Horner Plumbing for a free quote anytime in an emergency or for residential, commercial, or new construction projects of any size. Serving southeast Wisconsin since 1969. The pros I trust. HornerPlumbing.com.
This division race might already be over.
Breaking ball, hit high, hit deep, left center, bye-bye baseball!
The Brewers take on the Cubs in Chicago. This series is sponsored by IKEA Oak Creek. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11:02, we have 69 degrees, partly cloudy, breezy today with spotty sprinkles, high 74. Meanwhile, that flood warning continues for the Fox River lower in Kenosha County now till Monday morning. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Hurricane Erin isn't forecasted to directly hit the U.S. mainland, but its effects will be felt this week up and down the East Coast. North Carolina's Outer Banks will bear the brunt of the storm. The state's declared a state of emergency. Governor Josh Stein says flooding, storm surge, and high winds will hit the area. He urges people on the Outer Banks to evacuate.
We are anticipating coastal flooding from massive waves, tropical storm force winds, and tidal and storm surge for much of the state shoreline, especially the Outer Banks from this evening through Thursday.
Erin has maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour, 400 miles now southeast of North Carolina. California Republicans have filed a petition to stop Democrats' redistricting efforts. The petition filed with the state Supreme Court alleging the redistricting bills being pushed to the state legislature violates the state's constitution by ignoring the 30-day review requirement. Governor Gavin Newsom's office says it neither surprised nor worried about the petition. There's little faith in the federal government, according to a new poll.
Fewer than a third of Americans, 31%, say they have a lot or some trust in the federal government to act in the nation's best interest. That's according to a new Gallup poll. The figure is much lower than those who say the same about charitable organizations at 80%, state and local governments at 50%, and businesses at 40%. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
A Milwaukee County judge has dismissed Stephen Anderson without prejudice in the wrongful death lawsuit tied to his son, convicted killer Maxwell Anderson.
I do find that there were, things that were not done here that should have been done, but on balance, I don't find that warrants a dismissal with prejudice.
Family of 19-year-old Sade Robinson suing the Andersons in her death. The current dismissal leaves open the possibility of refiling the case against father Stephen Anderson in the future. Several southeast Wisconsin mayors re-exploring the idea of a passenger rail line between Milwaukee and Kenosha.
The Milwaukee Area Racine-Kenosha, or MARC, Passenger Rail Commission has been proposed by the mayors of the three cities, which if ultimately approved would examine a possible train line connecting downtown Milwaukee to the Wisconsin-Illinois line. The concept shares characteristics of previous passenger rail efforts in the region, including the development of a regional transit authority in 2009 that was dissolved just 2 years later. The new proposal involves no local funding obligations, nor causes any immediate fiscal impact on the three cities involved. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Counting down the hours to free burgers thanks to the Brewers' 12-game winning streak. George Webb restaurant server Jessica Warner remembers the last giveaway.
Last time in 2018, I was just doing fries and onion rings, so I was stuck back there doing that, but I guess I'll be out front this time, and I think it's going to be a lot more crazy.
The free burger giveaway runs from 2 to 6 today at all 23 locations. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow off 60 points. The Nasdaq down 247. S&P 500 down 39. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time 11:05.
We see you out there, making the most of every moment, one big, bright idea at a time. At Blaine's, we're glad to be part of it by offering best-in-class products and solutions at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like men's full blue denim jeans, $12.99, 10% off all Gardner Bender electrical supplies. Rewards members save 15%. Milwaukee job site backpacks, only $84.99, and Blaine's brand conventional motor oil, $2.99 a quart. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It's summer now, but you know what's coming down the pike? Yup, cold weather and high heating bills. Gene Miller here and now is a great time to order new windows from my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. With national brands like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, and Softlight, Hometown can offer replacement windows that fit every home, style, and budget. Whether you're looking for wood, Fibrex, fiberglass, or vinyl, Hometown has a product for you. August is Marvin month. Call or stop in to win a Yeti cooler. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers lost both sides of a twin bill in the Windy City, losing to the Cubs 6-4 in Game 1, then a 4-1 setback in the nightcap. Teams continue their series today. Packers on the practice field Tuesday. Quarterback Jordan Love took part in 7-on-7 drills, completing 10 of 11 passes as he recovers from that thumb procedure. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Just a couple of disabled vehicles. I-43 north beyond the ramp from Highway 32. The right shoulder, they're blocked due to a broken down vehicle. 43 south at I-41 east, left shoulder, they're blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. That flood warning for the Fox River, Loa, and Kenosha County now extended until Monday morning. Partly cloudy, breezy, spotty sprinkles today in Milwaukee area, high 74. Mostly clear tonight, 65. Mostly sunny and 76 tomorrow. Chance of showers overnight Friday after sunshine at a high of 80. Sunny and 78 on Saturday. Sunny, cooler on Sunday with a high of 70. 74 in Madison, 68 in Green Bay, 69 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to the 11 o'clock hour of this Hump Day edition of Point Taken. And everybody's favorite superintendent of public instruction, no, not in Wisconsin, in Oklahoma. Do you think there's anyone, I don't know if there's another person in the country who has this job besides Ryan that's more famous for this job than Ryan Walters, is there?
Not that I can think of.
I mean, this guy makes national headlines.
New York had some famous ones, but not recently.
A lot.
Yeah.
For some of the things he is. I mean, what got pushed under the rug pretty quickly was the fact that the guy who, is trying to burn books and ban books for being too pornographic is now facing a porn investigation
That
for
always
watching
doesn't
porn
that always happen
in his office. But that's not what we're going to talk about today.
No.
What we are going to talk about is, despite the fact that Oklahoma is having a teacher shortage, which is not uncommon, we in Wisconsin also having a teacher shortage.
Yes.
We could say it's because we don't value teachers, but again,
there's a lot of reasons. That's one of them.
yes. He is now in the news for wanting to force teachers who are applying to work in Oklahoma that are from New York or California to have to answer questions meant to screen out woke indoctrinators with left-wing views. So I guess teachers there already have to pass the citizenship naturalization test.
Which is a good thing, in my opinion.
I think we should all have to be able to, we should all know those basic questions.
You know, they should make that requirement for anyone that posts on social media. Just a thought.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. So the test they want to roll this out even without the rest of the school board's approval. It's 50 questions that are going to cover topics about U.S. government, religion, and gender. And the teachers' unions, not shockingly, have criticized this as a political stunt and going to discourage applicants despite the teacher shortage. It sounds like they're moving forward with this no matter what. They did give 5 test questions to, this was a Washington Post article.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, at least, the 5 examples didn't have anything about gender. Because when I read this headline and then I read the article, I was expecting like the Prager University, which does have a partnership with the Oklahoma school department. I thought it was going to be more questions as far as like that were wrong answers, like the rewriting of history.
Right.
At least this is like the questions that they listed as examples are, what are the 3 words of the Constitution? Do you know?
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That one?
We the people.
Oh, we the people. The beginning of the Constitution.
Yeah, the first 3 words.
I didn't hear the first part.
Okay. Why is freedom of religion important to America's identity? What are the 2 parts of the U.S. Congress? How many U.S. senators are there? And why do some states have more representatives
Do you
than
think
others?
most people would get the senators thing wrong? It's pretty simple answer.
If they misread it and thought it was, because it's a multiple choice. So if you misread it and like mixed it up with the House of Representatives, maybe you would choose 435 instead of 100. But
there's 50
I've heard
states,
people
2
get that
each.
question wrong, honestly.
Really?
Yes. Have you ever watched Jaywalking?
Yeah.
That was, whew. And so these questions seem like the naturalization questions. These don't seem as like anti-woke type questions to be filtering people out. So if anything, I don't think this is going to have the effect beyond the political stuntness of it all. It's just going to tell people, hey, we're making you jump through extra hoops to come teach here. So there's other states that those people will probably go want to work for.
A couple just quick points. One, whenever you don't share as a superintendent or whatever your title is, that leading a board of education or whatever, and you don't share it with the members, that's a red flag to me. The members of your board of education or your school board should know what you're doing as a superintendent. That's a number one thing that should happen anywhere. So don't try to hide stuff too. You shared 5 questions, but let's be. I want
to know what the gender questions are.
Because here's the thing, we all know where that's going. It's an oversimplification of gender, right? And they're going to what is primarily a conservative viewpoint, right? There's one way or no other way. That's their oversimplification. Anybody who lives in the real world knows that's not the facts of the case, right? So that's probably what they're doing there. So those 2 points bother me. Will this dumb down? That's not the right word. Will it limit your ability to recruit teachers? Yes. And what do we learn talking to educators? I talk to a lot of school board members. They reach out to me all the time by email when we talk about education topics. You and I are going to start an education segment next month, a couple times a month, just on education.
Back to school.
Yes, certainly back to school time coming up. Matter of fact, my grandson Cooper went back to school, as did Max. So they're already back in school. So this stuff is important. And as the spouse of a teacher, I've lived this life. Kathy was a full-time teacher for almost 40 years, I think 37, 38. Everything from Act 10 to how kids behave in school, to the things you teach, how you teach, rules of the road when it comes to teaching, all that's changed.
Yeah, was that
significantly.
awkward in your house when Act 10 was happening?
Yeah, well, I've told the story. Maybe you never heard me tell that story.
I don't think I have heard you tell the story.
When that was happening, my friend Steve Jagler, who was then, I think, at either the Business Journal or the Journal, knew of somebody who wrote for the Wall Street Journal. And he said, we need someone, because I supported Act 10.
I know you do. That's why I asked.
So at the same time, in different rooms, we were being interviewed for an article about Act 10, where I basically said I supported because these are the reasons, mainly cost savings for governments, to limit some communities' ability to just overspend, which was part of the problem in the first place. And then Kathy was in the other room saying, I hate this. Yeah, the people that are doing this are basically evil. I'm paraphrasing. So we had that divergent viewpoint. But here's the thing about
and then it was written up in the Wall Street Journal.
The front page. Yeah.
Wow,
I still have it somewhere.
I did not know that story.
So I will share that story with you at some point. But the point of that is, even with those very divergent opinions, we both allowed each other the space to have those opinions, which is sort of how it's supposed to work, especially in a relationship. Which is sort of the problem I have with people who say that not being of the same party or the same ideology is sort of a deal breaker for relationships. I know a lot of people who have diverse relationships when it comes to political ideology, and it works just fine. So don't let that be your deal breaker. This story is troubling on all the things I just talked about.
This story is troubling. I think Ryan Walters in general is troubling. It's a bummer because he's actually a quite handsome man.
I don't know.
It's just, but his ideas and the things that he's doing, I think, to make a name for himself are very concerning. But I will also say this: things like this, things like Act 10, I feel like we've been going down a path to discredit and diminish the importance of teachers, which is leading to the teacher shortage, and it is leading to a place where we're going to just think that AI can replace teachers, and that will be so detrimental for the future generations of actually learning. And so anything that we can do to continue to protect the sanctity and how special teachers actually are who teach children in person, I think we should protect. All right, when we come back, we're going to play a game, though.
Yeah, speaking of education
this now
words,
becomes the fun part of Point Taken on this Hump Day edition.
The very front of the Brewers front office is on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I think it's something sort of our brand of baseball. We're going to play you tough and play hard night in and night out, and we're here and we're going to fight you all 9 innings.
Brewers GM and Senior Vice President Matt Arnold is our Brewers 360 guest every Thursday morning at 8:45.
How soon do I start asking you about trades and stuff, Matt?
My phone's always on, so no.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi for Abbott. I know you've heard me talk about this a lot over the last 5 years, but people ask me all the time when I'm out and about in public, does it really work? And I go, yeah, it does. It changes your reality when it comes to sleep. And it does it in a lot of different ways. They certainly ask you the right questions when you go to one of their great facilities, you talk to their docs. They ask you what's ailing you when it comes to your sleep. They'll add in a quick, easy-to-do home sleep study in your own bed, always preferable, my opinion. They'll determine what your problem is, the root cause, not just the symptom, the root cause. Mine was sinuses and nasal passage in my breathing triangle. And then they do something about it. Short procedure for me, 5+ years ago now. Breathing better than ever, sleeping through the whole night. That's the magic part, right? You wake up refreshed and rested. If you struggle like I used to, take the time to see how Abbott can help you to find out breathing well and sleeping well. Two very important things can make your nights better. Go to adventknows.com and schedule an appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 16 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
That's something good about Oklahoma. How about that?
Wheat can sure
This is actually a musical that didn't necessarily age well.
No, it's
As far as some of the pursuit. I mean, yeah. What's the bad guy's name in it?
I don't know. I'm not a musical Broadway guy by any stretch of the imagination.
All right, so a little backstory on this before we jump in. A couple weeks back on our text line with Bill and Joe referenced tradwives. And Bill did not know what that is. It's obviously short for a traditional wife.
Right.
And it is part of the culture of the Turning Points USA. There's a lot of women who are influencers online who are tradwives and show their baking bread and all the...
Sort of go back to the good old days.
Yes, they dress like they're from Little House on the Prairie. It's weird. So the Cambridge Dictionary announced yesterday that tradwife and skibbity are being added to the dictionary. So I sent it to Bill and I said, here you go. And he was very grateful that he now knows what tradwife means. But then today, as a follow-up, the Journal Sentinel had one of their interns write a glossary to help Wisconsin parents understand what the heck their kids are talking about. So skibbity being, you actually knew this one. I didn't know this one.
It was like, I'm not on TikTok, but I'm aware of TikTok. It's some sort of weird toilet TikTok thing that happens.
So it's on her list. It's cool, bad, dumb, funny. This one is largely context dependent and devoid of meaning, and it can have multiple contradictory definitions. It originated from Skibbity Toilet animated YouTube series.
That's where I heard about it.
So, but instead of just running down the list of current Gen Alpha slang, I wanted to juxtaposition it with 1910s slang. So old school slang. So you're going to guess, I'm going to say what it is, and you're going to guess if it is Gen Alpha or the lost generation of who used this term. And you can play along at home. All right. Ready?
Yes.
Do we have any music to go behind this, Jess? All right. Kiki. Noun.
Kiki?
It is a noun, and the word is kiki.
I'd say that's a modern one, alpha.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a social gathering or casual chat among friends that usually involves laughter, gossip, and storytelling.
I heard partying, but is that what?
Yeah, there's a song called Let's Have a Kiki. It's a great song. I'll play for you after the show. All right. Against her.
Against her?
Against her.
I'm going to say that's the old one.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Everyone knows someone who loves to be the voice of opposition. To us, they're a hater or a contrarian. To our early 20th century counterparts, they were an againster.
Yeah, it's self-descriptive. The word tells you what it is.
Conchi.
Conchi. Spell it.
C-O-N-C-H-I-E.
Oh, see, if it was C-O-N-C-H-Y, I would have said old. I'll still say old.
It is old.
Oh.
Conchi was an abbreviation for a conscientious objector, popular in the UK during World War I. It was later used in reference to men who refused to serve in World War II.
I have not cheated on this either, so I'm proud of
You've
myself.
not. I did not give this to you. All right. Unk.
Like, Unk. UNC?
UNC.
That's got to be modern.
It is modern.
Yeah.
Abbreviated version of uncle used to refer to someone as old or out of touch.
Yeah, that was easy.
So I'm going to call you Unk.
That's not even nice and also not true, as you know.
We'll call Bill Unk.
Yeah.
All right. Crest.
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 Spell it.
P-R-E-S-S-E-D.
That's got to be old.
That is new.
Really? What does that mean?
Acting annoyed, upset, offended, or stressed out about something.
Oh, pressed.
Don't be so pressed.
I actually like that one.
I'm gonna say that to you when things are.
Well, can I say it to you as well?
When am I pressed?
Oh, lots of times.
Okay. All right. Meller.
That sounds old to me.
It is.
Yeah.
19th century Americans were fond of calling melodramas melodramer, which eventually got shortened to Meller. So Yellowstone would be a 21st century Meller.
Yeah.
All right. This one's my favorite. Polluthered.
I have no... Polluthered?
Polluthered.
I'm just going to say new because I don't know.
No, it's old. Polluthered was an Irish term for drunk that may have derived from bluthered, an earlier word used to the same effect. James Joyce described the character Tom Kernan as polluthered in Dubliners.
Interesting.
I like that one.
That's good.
You're polluthered. Go home. All right, final one. Final one. Sigma.
That feels old to me as well.
That is new. It is a person, typically male, who is a lone wolf, independent, and not concerned with societal hierarchies. You did pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm sort of word
I feel like
aware.
it also shows that slang words were always a thing. There's always been a new generation using words that just make things up.
What's the phrase? Everything new is old?
It's old again?
Yeah. That's true. Even with words. Skibbity, though, that's just a weird one.
It's fun to say.
I asked one of our younger teammates, and he said, someone says it to me, I'm like, don't ever say that to me again.
What about Riz? Have you heard has anyone ever said you had Riz?
No.
They say it to me.
Should I have Riz?
Riz is a good thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like charisma. It's like you gotta. It's like having the it factor.
Oh. Well, so consider you just profiled that on Milwaukee. You have certainly a lot of Riz. Check it out on Milwaukee.com, or if you're really nice, I'll text you the link on our 855-616-1620 text line, Saturday Unlimited, WTMJ Talking Text Line. Quick break on this Point Taken Hump Day edition on 620 WTMJ.
All different types of injury lawyers advertise. Cartoon lawyers, bobblehead lawyers, and folks chasing ambulances with text messages. Our clients don't want or need such lawyers. Our clients know, like, and trust that Pasternak and Zergabel will help in their time of need. I'm Jeff Zergabel of Pasternak and Zergabel. Frank Pasternak and I are excellent personal injury lawyers in our community. If you need help after an injury, go to Pasternak and Zergabel at injurywisconsin.com. That's injurywisconsin.com.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Caladora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
It's there all day, and it never goes away. I hate pain. It robs us of so much. But if you take action today, your pain could be gone tomorrow. Because at Rejuvenex, we harness the power of Toradol and hyaluronic acid to calm the inflammation and cushion joints. Rejuvenex treatments are safe, they're FDA approved, and in most cases, insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, pays for them. At as low as $65 per injection per joint, our treatments are affordable. It's not a gimmick. It's pharmacological medicine administered in office in a simple and convenient manner. And with it, our patients have been able to avoid risky surgery and begin to stop the onset of arthritis. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we've made pain treatment as easy and affordable as it can be.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Accurate Basement Repair. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
All right, today is Free Burger Day. You can just show up today. And then if you have a voucher, there's a specific time and date you can go and get those. But today's about the free ones. Here's my ask. First of all, act like a human being, a respectful human being. Don't be disrespectful, disruptive. Don't get in fist fights at it because it's a burger. It's a free burger. Yeah, I know it's $5.71 or whatever it is at most of the George Webb's. It's a celebration. So be respectful. Don't just go there and get a free burger. Buy something else, whether it's a coffee to go, soda to go, fries to go, or sit in the restaurant if there's seats. Tip as generously as you could ever possibly tip. Because these folks are working their butts off so you can get a free hamburger. And George Webb, I can't say enough good things, and I'm actually going to the one in Franklin this afternoon after my doctor's appointment because our friend Rick Essenberg, a friend of the show, is the owner of it. And I'm going to shoot some video just because I'm curious how that all goes down. So I will be out there probably after 3:30. So be nice to those people and do the right thing. Just celebrate the fun part of this and don't be an idiot in line.
Don't be demanding.
Yeah, it's like show some patience because there could be, at 2, there might be some long lines. Whether there's long lines at 4, I don't know.
You think they run out?
No, they're pretty well prepared for this. Yeah, they did run out of vouchers.
I saw that.
And that's, I think last time they gave out 100,000 or 90,000. So they're pretty consistent. Think about any other business handing out that many free things. I mean, if you're a texter, give me an example of that. Maybe I'm not thinking about it, but that's pretty significant. A $5 item to more than 100,000 people, conceivably. That's pretty significant. And that's an example. And I'm not shilling for George Webb. I'm not paid to say this. Of a local company, for the most part, doing the right thing and continuing to do the right thing for decades. It's pretty rare nowadays when you talk about businesses in general. Generally, businesses are CEO, shareholders, the boards, and then customers and employees come later. This one, still pretty good about the customer thing. So thanks to George Webb. All right, teasing our Ask Us Anything, which we do every Wednesday, 855-616-1620. Any question, fair game?
Yep.
Kristin and Steve, send them our way on the text line, 855-616-1620. Politics is fine. Whatever you want to talk about, George Webb or something we said on the show today related to slavery or the candidate we had on, Ryan Sternad.
Mm-hmm.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
Oh,
Anniversary stuff.
Anniversary stuff. Yeah, your big anniversary today. Local news and county. Before we get to any of that, the latest now from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The White House says President Trump is calling for a bilateral meeting between Ukraine's President Zelensky and Russia's Vladimir Putin to negotiate a peace plan for Ukraine. The U.S. and European leaders also working on a security guarantees package. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burridge says earlier this week, President Trump signaled that Ukraine may have to cede land in any deal.
Zelensky saying there's been no pressure from the U.S. side on Ukraine making territorial concessions and saying that the U.S. administration understands it's not just a matter that it would be against Ukraine's constitution, that it is more broadly that it would be unfair for Ukraine to give up even more of its own territory.
Texas House lawmakers convening for the special session today. State Republicans could call for a vote on the redistricting measure. A state of emergency issued in North Carolina as Hurricane Erin churns off in the Atlantic. The massive storm's outer bands bringing a threat of surge and dangerous rip current alerts along the East Coast. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. Storm damage totals keep rising across Milwaukee after historic flooding over a week ago. City officials say over 1,600 homes experienced significant damage. 150 were destroyed. Health departments assisted over 100 businesses with flooding resources and power needs. 7 of those businesses have been ordered to cease operations due to electrical issues. Meanwhile, a few Milwaukee Public Library locations still being restored. The Villard Square branch will reopen this morning. The Bayview branch will be closed a few more days to complete system upgrades. Possible measles exposure in Wisconsin. The health department is trying to notify people who might have been exposed from an out-of-state traveler who visited the state August 4th. 2 locations where people may have been exposed include the Flying J Travel Center on 70th Avenue in Roberts and the Pilot Travel Center on Milwaukee Road in Beloit. As of Tuesday, 9 cases of measles have been confirmed in Wisconsin. The Marquette University Police Department's introduced a new traffic enforcement unit to reduce reckless driving around campus. In just under 3 months, the unit initiated over 200 traffic stops, issuing 171 City of Milwaukee citations and making 14 arrests for operating while intoxicated. MUPD launched the effort June 1st, devoting officers, equipment, and training resources to mitigate reckless driving in and around the Marquette campus. Time now for some news about your money. In the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, the Dow is down now just a fraction. The S&P 500 down 187 points at 21,127. The S&P 500 down 26, 6,385. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. It looks like we have a disabled vehicle that is blocking the right shoulder I-94 West at Highway 16 West. Also another one, I-43 South at I-41 East. That interchange left shoulder, they're blocked due to a broken down vehicle. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Flood warning now for the Fox River lower in Kenosha County in effect until Monday morning. Here, partly cloudy, breezy, spotty sprinkles, high 74, clear and 65 overnight. Sunny and 76 tomorrow. Sunny on Friday, then a chance of overnight showers and a high of 80. Sunny on Saturday, a high 78. Sunny, cooler Sunday with a high of 70. Right now in Madison.
Here from Accurate Basement Repair. We know this is an incredibly difficult time for our community, and our hearts go out to everyone affected by the recent record flooding. Our team here at Accurate Basement Repair truly appreciate your patience as we try to respond to the overwhelming number of requests. We want to help all of our valued listeners, so please visit our website at accuratebasementrepair.com. That's accuratebasementrepair.com, and fill out your inspection request. Remember, you're not alone. Accurate Basement Repair is here to help. Thank you again for your patience.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for QC Kinetics. You ever wake up with that pain in your back or your elbow? In my case, it's my elbow, or your knee or your other joints? Well, how about doing something about it? I went to QC Kinetics. I talked to Dr. Ashley Caravelli and their team and scheduled my treatments, 5 treatments throughout the summer, to make me feel better, to use my own body to help restore and repair this damaged joint, in my case, the elbow, using natural therapies, no surgery, none of the pills, no masking of the injuries that are bothering you. You can even bring your own x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free no-pressure chat, and you can find out if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you learn something new about yourself. Do what I did. Go to QC Kinetics. You will find out what is ailing you. You'll help your body heal itself. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. Call now. QC Kinetics.
Now it's time for Ask Us Anything on Point Taken. Got a burning question? Give us a call or text on the Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620.
Why do we never get an answer?
Happy Hump Day, everybody. It's the Ask Us Anything segment, final half hour of the program, where you get to ask the questions, direct the show, lead the conversation, tell us what you think, offer feedback, complain, whatever you want to do in some limited capacity on the complaint side. We start with a fun one. What accoutrements do you enjoy on your burger, Kristin? Like, what do you put on a hamburger? I don't eat a lot of hamburgers, but I'll tell you what I would put on them.
Cheese? I mean, not always, but as far as...
Well, that's...
like
what's your perfect burger, I guess?
I guess pickles, onions, cheese, mustard, ketchup.
Well, that's pretty basic.
It is basic.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Raw or fried onions?
Either?
I'm either, too.
Yeah, I can go with either.
One's like super crunchy. One just has an amazing taste.
Yeah.
Not a lettuce guy, because some people put lettuce. Not a fan of that.
Yeah, sometimes it depends on the lettuce. Depends on much. Everything's about the proportions of, like, that makes it a better burger than worse. Because if you have too much of something, you're going to ruin the
and for me, like, unless it's my tomato that I grow, I don't ever put a tomato on a hamburger. Because mine are good, and the ones you buy in the store are crap, basically. They've been picked forever, and they taste like wax, in my opinion. Ketchup, mustard, sometimes a little dollop of mayo just to mix it up a little bit.
All right.
But I don't eat a lot of... If I eat 5 hamburgers all year, that would be a lot.
Okay.
Somebody asked, relatedly, have you ever had a bison burger?
I've had bison. I can't remember if I had it in a burger form or just like as like a slab of meat. It was good.
I've had them at the State Fair for years. I didn't have one this year, but I've like many years. Wisconsin Products Pavilion, sort of the north side of that building towards the back. You can get all that stuff, crazy meats, and I think you can get elk in there, and of course the grilled cheese thing, which is fantastic.
I didn't get my grilled cheese.
Oh my God, what are you doing?
We were going to do it on that Sunday when we took Frankie back to the fair, and then
we got a lot of other crazy food.
Yeah, I think I ate enough at the State Fair.
For Kristin, how different was high school in Southern California versus Madison?
It was pretty different. So I spent my senior year at Santa Monica High School, and Yeah, it was, it was funny because I remember talking to kids who were graduating from Santa Monica High School, and they would find out that I was from Wisconsin. They were looking at UW-Madison for an option, and I was like, well, have you visited in winter? Like, it's different. I would say people's sense of style, definitely better in California.
Southern California, yeah.
But one of the things that stood out to me, and I've been telling this story more often lately, is because of the flooding that happened here. And it's like the very Midwestern thing of having a basement and being a teenager and the basement being kind of your zone when you go to each other's houses, as far as like the privacy of being able to hang out with your friends while your parents are home. And that was the biggest thing, as I made friends out there of like what we did. It was like when you were at someone's house, like you were just sitting in the living room. And I guess you can be outdoors more, and there was still a lot more of that, of like hanging out outside. But I just remember that really sticking out to me at 16 or 17, being like, wait, none of you have basements?
Yeah, that's such a Midwest thing.
Such a Midwest thing.
I can remember my buddy Dennis Stevenson, who lived down the street behind me, and my friend Barry Holloway, who I still see a lot. They had great stereo systems. In the day, in the 70s, that was the thing. If you had like quadraphonic speakers, great setups. I discovered the music of Supertramp and Kiss and Chicago and name all the other bands.
Yeah.
Yes, Rush, all that stuff. In their basements, listen to that music.
I do remember, this is kind of a Midwest simplicity. Like my Midwest simple that showed up on a date once. And this was after high school, but I was still only 18 or 19. And I had a guy who was like, have you ever been to Cabo? And I was like, Cantina? Thinking of the bar that was in,
yeah, right.
in Brentwood. And he goes, San Lucas. And I go, oh, no, I have not been to Cabo San Lucas.
I have also not been to Cabo San Lucas. Shout out to Shelly, who's listening. She was talking about George Webb. Husband and I went to get our voucher. Like, you probably won't use it. We had breakfast and tipped well. I love that, Shelly. Shelly actually knew Ryan, who was on her show, Sternad.
Oh, wow.
Because he has served her, and she says, Shelly, now we'll take your word on this, that Ryan told her he was running for governor before he announced.
Oh, insider
scoop. Knowledge. And apparently, she's known, Shelly, as standing room only Shelly. Sort of different than front row Amy.
That is different.
Can I say this? The buxom front row Amy? Is that?
I think that's part on her calling card, right? That was included in her bobblehead when she had one.
Here's how well we know each other now. I was actually going to say her calling card at the same moment you were. That's freaky. Work wife? Much? That's weird. All right. Got some more questions coming in. You can join the conversation, 855-616-1620, the Sounding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line. One of the best segments done in Milwaukee radio. Ask us anything. Obviously, I'm biased. Right now. Don't wait. Get your questions in. Quick break.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing, too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
Thanks for listening today as we celebrate our Ask Us Anything segments. Let's go to the phone lines.
I
haven't
we're
done
celebrating.
That. Yeah, let's go to the phone lines. Don from... Where are you from, Don? West Side, Don. Welcome to the show,
West side
Don.
of Milwaukee.
Yeah, what's your
West side
question?
of Milwaukee. Yeah, I got a question. It kind of brought it up after that meeting in Alaska. I was just curious that if Trump, as a draft dodger, which everyone that's been proven, is embarrassed when the military people salute him, or if he thinks, like I do, that as the dictator of the United States, they damn well better salute him, or they're going to be in trouble.
Thanks for the hot take there, Don from the West Side. I think he probably appreciates it.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he's embarrassed by it.
Yeah, he had some reasons why he didn't serve, and we all kind of know what those are. Some heel issues, heel spurs. I think was that the guy?
Shin spurs? No,
something.
Bone spurs. Those come from bone spurs.
Yeah. I don't want to make too much out of that. That's one person's opinion, and I thank Don for making the call. Jay has a question that you always talk about this, actually.
Oh, okay.
Jay from Cedarburg on the show. Hey, Jay, ask us anything. What's your question?
Yes, I'm wondering if you think that ranked choice voting ever has a chance. I'm a rabid Democrat. I think that's the only hope for our country at this point.
Thanks for your call.
Thanks for your call there, Jay.
Do I think it has a chance? The thing I hope so. I feel similarly as far as the opportunity that ranked choice voting has in turning down the partisanship and changing how we do elections and changing how candidates have to campaign instead of just holding your nose and voting for the person you like the least. No, like the person, if you don't like either of them, the one that you like the most out of that you're whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. A lot of people have to get on board. I mean, Alaska did it, right? And I think there's a lot of good outcomes that have come from Alaska in doing that. The thing that I'm concerned about is every time it's ever been introduced as a bipartisan legislation in Wisconsin, it's not for the entire ballot, right? They've said it's only going to be for federal ballots, which then I feel like puts so much burden on clerks of if you have two separate kinds of ways to run a ballot and some's ranked, like a couple positions are ranked choice voting and then the rest are traditional, that just adds a lot of confusion. Like I think it's kind of got to be all or nothing, which is a big, even larger hill to climb.
I'll say this: there's a chance, certainly. And I think how we vote will certainly evolve over the years because everything changes, including recent efforts by the president. At least he says an executive action to change how states vote. All up for grabs. Question for Steve and Kristin: how much of President Trump's agenda do you think he really believes in, versus what he does with his presidential power, mostly to appease, support his loyal base?
I like all these questions as we're like personal friends with him.
Yeah.
and
well, he said the other
psychology background to decipher his feelings. I don't know. I do think it also depends on who he's talking to. I think there's people who surround him who their objective ranges from, some of the Christian nationalist rhetoric of true believers to some people who are just in it for power, and some people that's like, I don't think Linda McMahon is a Christian nationalist and has other incentives and motivations, but I think a lot of it just comes back to power. Like, I don't think especially a lot of the cultural stuff.
Yeah. I think he does things for
he was
effect.
a Democrat. He voted Democrat for a long time.
Yeah.
Weren't the Clintons at his wedding?
I think so, yeah.
Didn't he donate to one of Kamala's campaigns at one point?
Sure.
I like this one, the high school sports.
As soon as I moved to Oak Creek, I sort of got out of the high school sports. I did a lot of it Cudahy, but I played a lot of sports.
So you didn't do any team sports in high school?
No, in before I went to Cudahy, yes. I was at before I went to Oak Creek, yes, at Cudahy. Basketball, baseball.
Okay.
Not football. Didn't want to get hit.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I was basketball.
Yeah.
I swam I did a bunch of sports before I got into high school. But then by the time I was in high school, I played basketball and I was acting. So I was either in a play or playing basketball. And then obviously one picked out. But then I was in a girls' basketball movie. So it all came together.
What's the name of the movie so folks can check it?
Believe in Me.
Believe in Me. You have a big role, small role?
The script, what we filmed, was a bigger role than what got in the final cut of the movie. But I do make the winning shot.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was like a half-court shot that I actually made it on the 9th take.
Question: do you two watch America's Got Talent? I do, but never live. I just watch the
I watch
highlights.
clips.
Yeah.
I watch the clips that go viral that make me cry when someone can really sing.
I told you what I did last night. I went on YouTube, and I just watched famous bands play their most famous songs with backup orchestras behind them. Google that, and it'll take you on this amazing journey of songs that you know and you've heard with a sort of an extra element of a full orchestra. It's amazing.
Who was just here who did that with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra?
Who would that have been?
I feel like my father-in-law, my in-laws went.
I vaguely remember that.
And it was something really recent that I was like, oh, was it the Eagles? The Eagles played with the orchestra recently?
They probably have, but I don't know if that's the case in Milwaukee. For the individual from Kaz's Mini Bowl, yes, I got the coupons.
Yeah, I said
Kristin.
maybe Mike and I will go tonight.
That's Frank Kazakowski, the brother of the new owner of Kaz's Mini Bowl. So thanks for the coupons, and I'll try to get out there. Texter asked you to watch Black Mirror. I love Black Mirror. At the time it first came out a few years ago, I called it the most innovative television show I had ever seen. Have you seen Black Mirror?
I've seen episodes of Black Mirror.
It is amazing, especially the first season. Absolutely a game changer as far as episodic TV. I mean, amazing stuff. Real quick, before we go to break, why do some hosts refer to fans, others to listeners? It's the same thing. We're all fans if you listen, right?
I mean, I don't know if everyone's a fan.
Come on. I think if you listen to the show, you're a fan. All right, we got one more small opportunity for a question. If you got a good one, tee it up on the Signing Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text on 855-616-1620. We'll wrap it up after this on 620 WTMJ.
Step right up and gaze into my crystal ball. I see flashing lights, spinning reels, and a big win. This August, you have a ticket to a cash carnival at Potawatomi. Play with your rewards card and earn entries to win your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Prize drawings every Thursday through August 28th. Your fortune awaits only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi here from Milwaukee Weight Loss. I can't believe it myself. I lost 40 pounds in a couple months. Now in the maintenance phase, I've been going back to the reduction phase to lose 10 more pounds. I'll be even 50. I have enjoyed my time with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Now, it's not easy. Willpower is required, but we do it, those of us who work with Milwaukee Weight Loss, without the shots, without the gimmicky stuff, the meals bar shakes. We just eat better. We reset our metabolism. They helped me and thousands of other people. I just talked to someone who was a friend of my wife's who lost 45 pounds. Nice job, you. Those are real results that last, and the program can really do amazing things. Whether you have a reunion you want to go to or a big trip or a wedding, whatever it is, you want to lose 20 or 30 pounds in a short amount of time the right way, without the yo-yos and all the other stuff. Smarter, faster, safer way. It's doctor approved, doctor developed. Free consultations is sort of how you get into the idea of what they can do for you at Milwaukee Weight Loss. Simple, two ways. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com or call 262-393-2334. That's 262-393-2334. Change your life. Start now. Milwaukee Weight Loss.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-707-4522. 800-707-4522. 800-707-4522.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $200 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Looking for an e-bike? Shop Wheel and Sprocket and find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, quick wrap-up on Ask Us Anything. If the House switches in 2026, how will that affect Trump's behavior? He's not going to be happy about it because there will be an impeachment if the Democrats take the House. My prediction right now. All right.
I mean, it's not like there's not that many laws that have been passed while he has the House, so.
No. Real quick, anniversary for you and Mike. What's the most romantic thing he ever did?
I don't know. He's a pretty thoughtful, romantic person.
I mean, flowers and all that stuff.
I'll say this, because last year I was at the DNC for our anniversary, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't get to celebrate last year. And I came, and it was hectic. It was a hectic week of running around, making content, doing hits, doing the show. And I came back to my hotel that night, and he had sent a bottle of wine and a cookie and a note to the hotel still for our anniversary. So even though we weren't together, he still found a way to make it a little special.
That's good. Well, happy anniversary to you and Mike. We'll be back tomorrow, your last day. Then you're heading out. You'll be off Friday. I'll be here with Bill and Joe.
Yeah, going to Charleston. So hopefully Hurricane Aaron isn't.
Watch your return
flights. Wash out our plans.
News is next. Then Greg and Jessica after this.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
IndyCar is back at the Milwaukee Mile August 23rd and 24th. The Snap-on Milwaukee